Yeah,
Okay, nice to meet you, Daniel.
nice to meet you too.
Thank you and for joining this Zoom session today. How are you doing? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
It's good.
Good.
Okay, before we start, maybe you can introduce yourself a little, like what's your name or where you from?
So hi, my name is Danielle. I'm from the UK. I was born in London. I'm 19 years old now, and I've just finished my first year in uni. Yeah,
Great, thanks for sharing that, Daniel. So,
no
today I
problem.
just want to have a casual chat with you. Nothing too serious. I'm just curious to know more about how British people live their daily life, what they think about their education system, or and how they see the role of religion in modern society. Just share your honest opinions.
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel, could you tell me what a typical day looks like for people around you?
So personally, like my family, for example, my parents wake up early to go to work around like 6 a.m. and they spend majority of their day at work and then come home. They eat, they sleep, and it's a very boring, routine like day, and it just repeats over and over again. Um, Other people I know, like outside my family, like people my age were obviously going to school, going to our part-time jobs and whatnot. But there's nothing significant, I would say. Everyone's just in their own world, if that makes sense. Yeah, very routine, like very organized day. Yeah.
And do you think young people and older people in the UK live quite different lifestyles?
Yeah, 100%. So I feel like young people these days are very busy and occupied with school and their exams and keeping up with their social lives, like hanging out with their friends and doing their part-time jobs because obviously when you're young, that's the time when you have to plan your future and um, invest in your future, and you have to plan everything really carefully, and especially like in the UK I feel like there's a lot of pressure to figuring it out at such a young age, like figuring sorry
It's okay.
figuring out what career you want to do at such a young age, whereas older people have they've already like lived most of their lives and they're mostly retired, so they spend more time doing little hobbies like I don't know, gardening. There's a lot of old people in care homes as well, and um, old people are um, very sweet. It's really sad as well because, like, if you go out for a walk and you bump into an old person and you say hi, they're very happy because that's probably the only social interaction they've had for the whole day. But yeah, old people and young people have very different lives.
And what's a common stereotype about British society that you think isn't really true?
A lot of people think British people are very posh and very, like, in terms of our mannerisms or even our accent. And I feel like people forget that England is a whole country and there's loads of different areas, different backgrounds, different styles of life, different accents. But that's the main thing I could think of. Yeah.
And what about the education? What was your school or university experience like?
Um, I had a very positive school experience for the most part. In primary school, I went to a really good school, but I was one, as a person of color, there aren't like nowadays schools are more diverse. But like when I was in school, I was one out of I think I was the only one out of three black people in my whole year, and then one out of like four or five in the whole school. And in secondary school, where the classes are slightly bigger, the years are bigger, I was one out of three black people. There, I think, obviously it depends in the what area you live in, but yeah, there's not as much diversity as I wish there was. But yeah, it really depends. Like and with teachers as well, like in sixth form. So after I finished secondary school, when I was doing my A levels for 2 years, I didn't have a good experience with my teachers. Um, so yeah, it's been a very mixed experience, but overall, school's okay. Yeah.
That's cool. And do you think the education system in the UK is more focused on exams or more on real world skills?
Definitely more focused on exams.
Mhm.
Um, we do have this thing in the UK called PSHE, which stands for, sorry, let me pull it up. PSHE stands for Personal, Social, Health, and Economic Education. And we have those, when I was in school, we had it like every week or every fortnight. And we discussed things such as like maybe like planning out your life or just personal things. We talk about mental health and things of the such, but I feel like there isn't enough emphasis on actual real life skills. It's mainly just exams. So by the time you finish school, you don't actually know much about the world. Yeah.
Same here. It's mean going to university is still seen as important for young people like you.
Yeah, definitely. I think as the time goes on, like now it isn't as important as it was maybe 10 years ago. Like now there's more options like doing apprenticeships or just going straight into a job. But for the most part, I think for most degrees, you need to go to uni
Mm.
unless it's like maybe um, for example, with technology, like if you want to go into cybersecurity or coding, I feel like nowadays you can learn that at home, you can learn that online, so you don't need to go to university. But for the most part, people do prefer to go to uni. That's like um, the typical path people take these days. Yeah.
And do a lot of students work part-time while studying?
Well, yeah. Most majority of students do part-time jobs, whether it's to support their parents at home, but the main reason people do part-time is for their own pocket money because we want to buy little things here and there. Um, and also to add experience to our CVs, when you're like applying for jobs or even applying for schools, it's important to say that you've had experience elsewhere. So, yeah, most students work during school. Yeah.
So interesting. And in your experience, does religion still play a big role in people's life in Britain?
Sorry, could you repeat that,
Uh,
please?
in your experience, does religion
Yeah.
still play a big role in people's life in Britain?
Um, Kind of, but not really. I think I would say no for the most part. Like these days, a lot of people um are very like as long as you're respectful to everyone and you mind your own business, no one actually cares what religion you follow or your lifestyle.
Mm.
Um but yeah, not as much as back in the day, because I feel like back in the day, the UK was definitely more religious because we're a Christian focused country. But these days, not as much.
Mm. And what about religious holidays like Christmas? Still celebrated for religious reason or more as cultures events?
So these days, Christmas and Easter, those are like the main religious holidays. They are not um religious based or religious focused. Most people don't know the deeper meaning behind it, especially the kids. Um, the closest kids will come to learning about the meaning behind it is doing the nativity play at school, which is very famous in England. Every school does the nativity play at Christmas time. But for the most part, people just see Christmas or Easter as another holiday, time off from work, or just a time of gift giving. And Easter is seen as um, just a time to buy chocolate bunnies for your kids. So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And do you think a religion still influence politics or laws in the UK at all?
Um, okay, so I don't really know too much about politics,
I
but
see.
like just off the top of my head, I think definitely not as much as it used to. Because like as time goes on, like even in the whole world, religion isn't, I feel like everyone is more open-minded now. So laws or just politics in general isn't strictly based on religion anymore. Yeah.
Okay, maybe enough. That's all from me. Thank you so much
Okay.
for sharing your thoughts. It's really interesting to hear your perspective. And I really
Yeah.
appreciated your time today, Daniel.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Hope you enjoy the chat as well. And maybe take care and
Yeah.
see you.
Well, thank you. Bye.
I'll contact you later.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.